On Monday, we ended up getting new weapons for Call of Duty World War II, that being the AVS-36, the Delisle, as well as the Push Dagger, all of each covering a different sort of category of play, one being a rifle, one being a sniper, and of course one being a melee weapon as well. And so those are all across the board on what you might play around with the most, and while you may not have gotten to every single weapon, you might have one or two here out of these that you want to check out. And so therefore, I wanted to give you guys my best class setups here at this one to let you know what I think will absolutely do fantastic for you no matter what sort of player you are with these new weapons. So we're going to be breaking down the AVS and the Delisle primarily, and then we kind of have a little extra of the Push Dagger as well. I'm not a huge melee player, but I did find some things to work out nicely in that sense that I'll share with you guys as well if you end up trying to go for that one and you want to play around with it and craft a class for it. So that said, we're going to be breaking down these 3 class setups for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully it helps you out in some way, shape, or form. If it does, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and maybe share it over on Twitter as well with me. Love to get connected with you guys on all those fronts, and of course hear your feedback on any class setup you guys may enjoy, or you may have some slight adjustments too. So that said, let's break it down in, again, the power ranking order that I gave them of the AVS, the Delisle, and then the Push Dagger finally. So let's jump in with the AVS first. Personally, my favorite weapon out of the 3 brand new ones here with the Operation Liberty Strike event going on right now. The AVS being that rifle, of course, it's a lot more suited towards all-around play than that of what you'll see with the Delisle, as well as the Push Dagger. But honestly, I end up running this one with the Infantry Division. I've been rocking Armored a lot lately because I've been playing a lot of Hardpoint and other objective-oriented modes, so I feel weird going back to this a little bit just because I've been so used to jumping in where grenades may be. You have to play a little bit more passively since you don't have that extra protection with it, but it is nice because in this setup in particular, 100% I would say Infantry over Armored in this one. I say that because it affords you a little bit more extra mobility when strafing and just overall in general, so that's something that I absolutely love. I kind of use this AVS playstyle as a sort of roam an area and patrol and own that area type of thing. So while I'm not running end to end on each side of the map, I'm controlling different locations where I want the players to flow through and of course then pick them off at that point. So that's something that's nice. The Infantry Division allows me to have that strafing speed to keep up with aiming down sight if I know somebody's going to be around a corner. Then additionally, of course, that extra attachment slot is always nice. You can't go wrong with that one. But actually on the AVS, we end up running the Quick Draw, Extended Mags, Rapid Fire, and the Reflex Sight. Now the Reflex Sight is honestly probably the most expendable thing in this setup, and it's not needed by any means, but I found that I liked it better with the Reflex Sight, even though there is entirely nothing wrong with the Iron Sights at all. I just enjoy the Reflex for some reason compared to the Iron Sights. So you can do without, and you can deal with the Iron Sights, and that's really just comes down to personal preference if you want to throw on a different attachment with that, but for my own personal sake, I enjoy the Reflex on this one. Additionally, on that, we'll run the Quick Draw because obviously it's key when attempting to get a quicker leg up in a gunfight, but when you also tie in what we have in the basic training selection, and we'll get to that in a second, it's even better having it coupled together, which may give it away, but I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Always having that leg up is great, and that extra speed, getting your weapon up to aim down sight is fantastic. Then I run Extended Mags because since you don't get extra mags anymore with Infantry, I plan on staying alive with this class if I'm totally honest with you, so the longer that I'm alive, I obviously run the risk of running out of rounds. So not only will I have to reload less with Extended Mags and I can focus on the engagements and the map rotations, I can also have a bit more ammo in reserve that will help me out in the long run, and I'm a bit of an ammo hoarder, I won't lie about that one, so that's one of the reasons why I have it also. And finally, Rapid Fire for attachments closing off this one. Statistically, it's not the biggest difference in going from, say, the automatic SVT comparison to that of what the PPSH is in the fire rate, but the Rapid Fire gives a fire rate just enough of a boost to make it a little bit more competitive. I think it's slightly in line with, maybe just slightly below that of the BAR's fire rate, but it's not bad at all, and of course, it makes it more lethal when you're sending rounds at an enemy. As for the basic training, we run Specialist with Escalation, Hustle, and Forage. Now, Escalation, coupling this once again with Quick Draw, means that 5 seconds or so after you get a kill, the poor soul up next on your radar doesn't stand a chance. He can be pre-aiming a corner, and if you got a snap that's quick enough and a precision aim, he or she is done for. While Escalation can prove to be annoying at times, it's just as, if not more useful when you're using it. So for that, it's definitely my first on the Specialist earnings. Hustle is our second one here, in which right around the corner at the 400 point streak, that's right around whenever in TDM I'll need to reload, or close to that whenever I'm playing a different mode as well, maybe having already reloaded once, in which, so for me, this is the perfectly timed place to put it to earn this one while I need to reload faster or potentially get out of a sticky situation ammo-wise. This one comes down to timing, but I definitely recommend trying it out in the loadout, whether whether that be first, second, or third. And then third, we have Forge up on there for around that 600 point streak. I don't necessarily need Forge, but it's a nice help because I may be running close to having a mag left or half a mag left, depending on the engagements and the game mode I'm playing, but it's definitely nice to be able to top off my mags and ammo before going into that specialist bonus. It's not the most needed basic training, but I do feel like it fits nicely. Then we'll close out the class setup with a machine pistol. Just got the HEMAT too, so it's beautiful with different camos on it, but of course, as with my other class setups, I don't care necessarily all that much for the secondaries, but since they don't count against me, I'll take them anyway, and they can be useful at times. Lethal and tacticals, well, we just have that as a default standard frag and concussion grenade, and that's gonna round out the AVS. Moving over into the Delisle, that's where we end up seeing a little bit of a breakaway from what I normally run with some of my class setups as well. We end up running armored on this one. Normally my sniper default is mountain with lookout, but this class changes that and allows me a little bit more of a change up. Personally, I know that I can't stand armored with snipers, and I feel anytime that I go up against that meta that I die, but point blank, it's the best combo you can run as a sniper right now in my books. Even though I don't like it, I don't like it because it's actually good. The flinch reduction is truthfully kind of absurd, and it'd be stupid to pass up if I'm honest with you. For that reason, and the extra grenade protection as well as other abilities, I run it for this sniping class setup as a little bit more mobile, but also you can stay at home with this one as well. As for what I run on the Delisle, I run the ballistic CPU, FMJ, as well as extended mags. Now ballistic CPU I run on every single sniper just for that steadier aim we get whenever we are aiming down sight. Then FMJ, it's honestly one thing that I took just because I had an extra attachment. I don't use it all that much in terms of sniper play, and I honestly don't use all that many sniper attachments too, but if I can get some extra penetration damage, I'll take it, especially since the weapon has a built-in suppressor, so while the weapon, stomach and up, is a one-hit kill and has the same potential as other snipers, I like to cover the extra base if someone rounds a thin wall, then I can take them out. And then as for extended mags, again, kind of unnecessary, but I'll gladly take the extra rounds and extra reserve, and I find myself nearly never needing to reload with this whenever I have it equipped. So for me, those three attachments are definitely fantastic to run on the Delisle, and coming down to the other portions of this class setup, we end up running Escalation as the basic training. Now again, this is perhaps my most died to meta setup, armored Escalation and a sniper, but truthfully, it works. So while it might frustrate me at times, I would definitely recommend it because you're gonna do well with it. That extra speed when aiming down sight, pretty much cutting the aim down sight time in half for that 5 seconds or so after you get a kill, is a quick scoper's delight. It's a dream essentially for snipers, and so if you can end up snapping to enemies, you're gonna be unstoppable with this. So again, while it might not be my favorite thing to go up against in a realistic standpoint, I'd be crazy not to recommend it because again, it is just something that works so well for that playstyle. So if that's something you're into, try this out. But rounding out the class setup itself, I'll end up running the secondary once again. I don't usually normally use them all that much, but the machine pistol again with extended mags on that, plus a lethal and a tactical of a frag and a concussion grenade as well. So that rounds out the sniper class setup here at this one. And then finally, again, we'll touch briefly on that of the push dagger. I'm not the biggest fan of the push dagger, if I'm honest with you, just because I'm not a huge melee player, so it was a little excruciating to get some gameplay of it and everything, and I still don't think that I have all that great of gameplay, but one thing that I would definitely recommend is kind of just the basis for a regular melee class setup with this. So you might see this class setup kind of resembles the cookie cutter mold for a melee player, but it is something that does work quite well. Firstly, we run Expeditionary with this one, simply because it affords you some more lethals and tacticals, and also allows you to replenish them over time as well, so if you're staying alive and you need to stun people to get up and close and personal, you end up getting those back over time, so it's definitely nice if you stay alive there. The push dagger obviously is our primary, then for basic training we run serrated so that we end up getting throwing knives to get that class setup going as well. But honestly, I kind of wanted to play around a little bit with Saboteur and playing with frag grenades rather than throwing knives, though I didn't in the gameplay or watching the background, just to be able to throw those, cook those off, because I feel like Saboteur actually is a very useful basic training, even in close quarter stuff like that, where though throwing knives up close and personal are again a melee player's best friend, if you're taking people out from afar, it could really help to have some frags. So in that sense, I guess it's kind of interchangeable, and I would have changed that up and experimented around a little bit with it, but I didn't get all that much with it. And again, just rounding out that class setup, we end up running the machine pistol with extended mags as per my norm. But that's my melee class with that one again. Nothing too extraordinary or out of left field that it's going to be a massive turnaround and revelation for melee players, but that is something that I recommend if you want to try it out and have some fun doing so. But that's gonna round out this little class setup here for this. Again, I've been doing class setups for every single DLC weapon when they come out, so hopefully guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully it helped you out in some way, shape, or form. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did it help you out with any of these? Did you guys have a nice little streak going? Did you guys get a nice gameplay with it? Whatever it may be, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, if you guys want to say, throw some suggestions for different class setups with these weapons, feel free to in the comment section down below. I'm sure that people looking in the comments would definitely appreciate that as well. But that said, that's what I got here for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and of course, to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty World War II and Call of Duty related, we got you covered on information, best class setups, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter as well, that's the best place to get kicked outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram as well, get a little more active over on that front, so that link is also in the description below if you guys want to check that out. But all that said and out of the way, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. Take care, and peace.